Good morning, guys. How y'all doing this morning? I'm out and about again, cruising with Rusty. Won't that be exciting? Oh, Lord. Anyway, had a lot of comments, lots. And one of the topics that I completely stumbled on through a comment was this, I almost hate to say it because it'll lead to a million more comments attacking me, but I'll mention it anyway. It's this men going their own way topic. It's not a movement. It's not a movement. I want to go on record as saying that. I must have had 50 emails telling me that. But anyway, what occurred to me, and I know I'm going to get some feedback on this, but I can stand. You know, if you can't stand the heat, don't go in the kitchen. Well, I can stand the heat, so I'm going right in the kitchen. Anyway, as you know, you subscribers and some of you regular viewers, I'm 71 years old, okay? I was born in 1945 and grew up in a normal, I guess you'd say, a normal world. You know, where men and women got married and had kids and raised the children. Children went to school, got out, went to work, got married, and the cycle just went on and on and on and on and on. And I'm not saying that that's the perfect way to do things, but that's the way it was done when I was growing up. So, but I think that based on some of the comments I've gotten, not only about that, but perimeter related subjects, it appears, I say it appears, that some of these young men and women are missing the best part of life. I mean, the mating game, come on. I mean, you don't want to miss that. I mean, shit. I mean, come on, that's what it's all about. That's what little girls get dressed up for and put on makeup, do all their stuff. And I can hear somebody in the background saying, but they're just doing it to get your money, they're doing it to get your money. Well, you know, so what? You know? Anyway, but I grew up in the early years, okay, many years ago, but I just hate to see some of you people miss what I think is the most exciting part of life. I mean, when I was a senior in high school, I mean, dating was it. I mean, going to the drive-in theater, you hear me, with your girlfriend and steaming up all the windows. I hear it. I mean, I remember it well. Shit, yeah. You know, or going parking. Hello. Did I do that? Shit, yeah. You know, and I was right at the time in the 60s when they started birth control, when birth control was just beginning to get popular, and mothers were getting the birth control pills for their daughters so they wouldn't get pregnant because, you know, that kids fooled around. I mean, whether anybody wants to believe it or not, they do. And it's perfectly natural. It's not a crime against God, and you know, the devil's gonna get you. Actually, it's quite enjoyable. So, but I think about those days and compare them with some of these comments that I've gotten, and I'm thinking, man, have we changed that much? And I know I'm gonna get some comments. I hear it, I can hear the clicks now on the keyboard. That sorry son of a bitch, goddamn shit. Anyway, well, that's okay, we can deal with that. But you know, I mean, I remember little things about dating. I mean, even in my later years, even, you know, before I got married. And, you know, of course, I've been married and divorced a few times. And so, yeah, I enjoyed women. I loved them. I loved them too damn much. And, yeah, a pretty woman would just melt me like ice cream on a hot street. I'm telling you. I'll give you one example. I was in between wives in 85 in that range. Let me think, is that right? Well, 1980, let's say 1980. And man, they used to have this big event I'll try to think of the name of it, but it was in Victoria, Texas, where I was living at the time. And anyway, they set me up with a, quote, date to take to this, it was called the charity ball. That's what it was, the charity ball. That's what it was. It was a kind of a high dollar event, but I was making pretty good money then. So, and I was single at that time. I don't know, what year was that? 35 years old? Prime, maybe, prime. And I went with this girl, and of course, you know, we pretty much agreed that, you know, whenever we got there, you do whatever you want to do, I'll do whatever I want to do, and then I'll take you home and we'll call that a date, you know, and that was fine. And so we did. She was a good girl. I mean, I'd known her for a while. She was good. She was cool. And so we did. We went there, and we were sitting at the table with some other people and having a few drinks and so forth. In through the front door comes a 10. Woo! I mean, this girl was hot from the hair down. And did she get my attention? You damn right. And anyway, she came by and she was with a guy. And so I started asking the questions about who's the guy? Is that her husband or boyfriend or what? Well, it come to find out that it wasn't either one. It was just a guy she worked with. Huh. I thought, well, how about that? So anyway, they started playing some music. People were dancing. So I asked her to dance, and she did. We danced a couple of times. Then we danced some more. And then we danced some more. And shit, I was in love, man. As you know, love is just in heat. But having said that, my point is, can you imagine missing that? Can you imagine me sitting there and saying, well, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to participate. I mean, you know, that's a big change. A big change. Because I can't even imagine, even today, hell, I was in Angel Fire, New Mexico 2 years ago, and went to, accidentally, I was driving around in Angel Fire. I got off on some of the back streets. Actually, I was lost, and I passed by this community center building. There were a lot of cars around, and I saw a sign out front that said, I can't remember, Arts and Crafts Show or Art Show or something. So I immediately pulled in. I thought it was about 9 in the morning. So I immediately pulled in, thinking that it was open. And where I pulled around was at the back, and I noticed people going in this double door at the back carrying stuff in, and I thought, well, hell, I guess that's the entrance. Well, as it turns out, the event hadn't started yet, and these were artists just taking their displays in and setting them up. So I go right in with them, you know, old dummy. Go right in with them, and I started walking around. A few of them already had their stuff set up, and I was looking at it, and there was this one girl. I mean, hell, let's see, I was 69, I guess, in 68 years old, and there was this one lady. She looked to me like she was in her 40s or early 50s, maybe. But she was tall, and she was very, very, very attractive. But of course, I know my limits. I knew I wasn't exactly the most handsome dog in the world. But I walked by. She made wind chimes. I'll never forget it. They were beautiful wind chimes, and she was a beautiful woman. So we talked for a while, probably 10 or 15 minutes, and the next thing, she put her arm around me and she said, you know, you're a very spiritual person. I said, honey, what you're taking for spiritual is horny. I mean, those vibes you're feeling are not spiritual, I promise you. That's the devil in me. So Anyway, we talked, and she explained to me that, you know, hey, guy, she thought I was an artist too, which I'm not. I explained I wasn't, and how I came to be inside before the event had started. She just thought that was funny. But she was what I call a hands-on woman. In other words, when she was talking to me, she had her arm around me, and then she put her arm on my shoulder, she put her arm around me, and she pat on me, you know. And I like that in a woman. I like that for a woman. I do. Makes a man feel good. But anyway, so we talked for a while, and she gave me a card, her business card, and I went and looked at some other places. But anyway, came back around, and it was 45 minutes later. And she was standing there by herself. There wasn't anybody at her booth. And I said, you know, I realize I'm a lot older than you, and I'm an old dog. I'm an old poor dog, and I know women don't like old poor men. And she just laughed. I said, you know, why don't we go have a bite to eat here in a little bit? She said, well, she couldn't until about 2 o'clock, because that's when they took a little break. I said, that's fine with me, babe. I ain't got a thing to do. So anyway, at 2 o'clock we went to they have a little area downtown in Angel Fire where there's a grocery store and a few little eating places. And we went to one and had I got a small, well, she said she didn't eat much, I didn't either, so we ordered a small, she ordered it. It was a small pizza with a bunch of crap on it. It was all right. I'd eaten a rock if they brought it out. But anyway, so we talked for a while, got to know her pretty good. No, not real good, but I mean, I got to know more about her. And she told me that she had inherited a home on Lake Travis, which is near Austin, Texas. And I said, well, you know, that's amazing. I said, I live about 60 miles from that area. She said, really? She said, well, the next time I'm down there, or I'm going to be there, I'll shoot you an email and we'll get together. And I thought that was just crap. You know, she's just trying to get rid of an old man. Well, I spent some time in Taos like I usually do. Came back to Texas. And sure enough, I did. I got an email that she was going to be at her place in Lake Travis and wanted to know if I wanted to come by there one afternoon and we'd have a few drinks, visit or whatever. Fine. Well, hell, you know, one thing led to another. We became good friends. Still are today. I still keep in touch with her. But you know, it's amazing. You know, those old feelings don't change. Now, those emotions, they're still there. It's just that all the equipment's changed, all right? You know, what used to be perfectly smooth is now wrinkled and shit. So, but be that as it may, I just hate to see or hear or read about the decline in you know, those kind of relationships. I like that spontaneity. I like that meeting a girl and playing hide the sausage and then lie, you know. And I'm sure the women feel the same way. You know, we used to call it a one-night stand. You know, it's what it is. It's you know, it's exciting. I mean, I bet I've met 50 women like that, just traveling around. And I met one gal in Taos many years ago. I used to go walking in the park, Kit Carson Park, every morning, and I met her. We talked a few times, and after a couple of weeks, we went and had a few drinks. And next thing you know, we were playing hide the sausage. And but be that as it may, God, you know, I can't imagine going through life without that. I mean, and there's ups and downs. I mean, I remember having my heart torn right out of my body, or it felt like it. When you fall in love, and the person you fall in love with ain't in love with you, and that hurts. That's very emotionally painful. I've had it happen to me probably a lot. I don't know how many times, but a few. And I'm sure I've done the same thing to some girls I've known. You know, they thought I was in love, and all I was looking for was a place to play hide and sausage, and that's the way it is. Is that bad? No, I think it's great. I think the mating game is a wonderful game to play. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments, man. You did it, and I'm ready. I'm ready. Shoot them to me, baby. But and I know the point that these people are making is that things have changed so much that they're unable to cope with the way it is now. And you know, that's all right. I understand that point. That's a very good point. I accept that. And my point in this video is that I think that is a sad commentary on particularly our society in the USA. Now, whether it's probably happening in different parts of the world to a more or lesser degree, but you know, God, I can remember putting my arm around a girl for the first time, the smell of the perfume. I remember all those little things. I remember a girl named Carol Ann Bard in Kennedy, Texas. I was so goddamn in love with her that I couldn't even, when I got around her, my mouth, I couldn't even form words. You know, I'm telling you the truth. And one time, I met her at the movie. We agreed we would meet at the movie because her mother didn't want her going out with me. I was a troublemaker, or not a troublemaker, I was a hellraiser, or whatever it was. Yeah, I was, I'll admit it. I was always testing the limits, getting caught. But anyway, but we agreed. We met at the little Rialto Theater in Kennedy, Texas. It cost 20 cents to get in, or actually it was first 12 cents, and then it moved up to 20 cents over the years. You could get a Coke for a nickel, popcorn for a nickel, and a hot dog for a nickel. How about that, folks? 15 cents, and you got a full deal meal. But anyway, I went in, and she was sitting there by herself. Well, no, she had a friend with her. Linda separated. Anyway, so I went in and I sat next to her. And I remember that my brother told me, he said, now when you sit down next to her, just put your arm around her. Just put your arm around her. My arm wouldn't move. My arm, it wouldn't do it. I thought, God damn, it won't work. My arm's broke. It's broke. Yeah. And I remember sitting there, and finally, I think she was the aggressor. She reached over and held my hand. Well, you know, holding hands in a movie was the same thing as playing hide and sausage back then. I mean, that was the equivalent of being married. I know this has gone on forever, but you know, the whole point of this in relating these stories is, you know, the mating game is fun. Shit, goddamn, wake up, America. You know, you gals and you guys, you know, you gotta, you know, listen to my videos. I mean, damn, because you know, that's the greatest part of life. I mean, you know, it gives you a reason to live. You know, gives girls a reason to get dressed up and fixed up and looking sexy, and a guy to kind of put on his best muscle shirt if he's got any, and comb his hair first time in a week, and you know, look sharp. But man, to lose that, damn. Anyway, this thing's gone on long enough. Here you go, guys. Thumbs up. Carpe diem. Damn, the mating game is losing. I mean, come on. Wait a minute. Thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye-bye. Out of here, guys. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.